Welcome. Welcome to this edition of Chai Chai's Exclusive Tea Club. This is a winter edition 2026. So for those of you who are new to this, every 3 months we send a selection of teas according to the season to the members, and we meet on Zoom for a little gathering where the members can ask questions about the teas or share comments and learn together. But not everybody can attend those meetings, and so we make this this video for YouTube to talk about the teas, and also that way those of you who are watching this video who are not members can learn a little bit more about tea, and also see if you'd like to join the club, know what kind of teas we drink and share. So the first tea today is a beautiful Hong Cha, crafted by a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner in Hubei, in Wudangshan. Wudangshan is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a legendary mountain, famous for being the birthplace of Tai Chi and Kung Fu. So the Wu Tang clan, those of you who that's coming from Wudangshan. So this traditional medicine, Chinese traditional medicine doctor, he not only processes wild tea, but he also grows herbs and is very connected to his land, to nature, to the seasons, and after all, that's what Chinese medicine is about. And so we actually have 2 teas from this man, both wild. This one that we shared, that I'm going to brew for myself right now while we're talking. And then there's another one that we have at the tea house on our web. This is number 508. It's called Jinsi, or Golden Threads. So you can see that this one has more golden hair, more golden buds, and is thinner. There we go, it's thinner. Whereas the one that we sent, the leaves are not as spectacular in that there are not as many buds, but they're larger. Now, personally, I like this one more. That's why I actually included it in the club. It's something more special for me. It's something deeper. Whereas the other one is also very, very, very good, but it's a little bit lighter. It's more tippy with the buds and more delicate. This one is very chocolatey and has a very strong energy with the bigger leaves, and I think it's fantastic. So just right away I get a nice beautiful aroma of chocolate come up. These teas are very stimulating. Before I refer to them as Hong Cha, Hong Cha literally means red. In China and Japan, they call the oxidized teas red teas, whereas in the West, commonly, they're still being referred to as black teas, which is a problem because in Asia, there's a black tea category, which is the fermented tea category, Hei Cha. So it can be a little bit confusing. The black tea in the West is called red tea. So rather than just call it a black tea, I'll just call it Hong Cha, which is what they would call it. This tea is a little bit roasted. It's very special because, well, first of all, we haven't been offering or receiving teas from Wudang. It's not an area that produces a lot of tea. And this is such a special case of somebody who tends to the land, who cares about health, who promotes Chinese medicine, and who likes tea. So they process tea as well, and I feel like it's just energetically the way to start. That's actually why I'm starting today with this in this video. It's a little bit malty, a little bit nutty, like walnut or pecan. So that's the first tea that we put in the club. Second tea is also very tippy, even more tippy than the golden threads that I showed you before. I figured if I'm going to give you a tippy tea, I'm going to give you this one. This one is fantastic. It's all buds, and it's from another region. It's from Wuyishan. Wuyishan is the birthplace of oolong tea. It's all buds. It's called Jinju Mei, or the golden eyebrows of longevity. It's a competition grade tea, which means that first of all, visually, they're looking for uniformity in the leaves, in addition to the wonderful aroma, sweetness, nuances of flavor, and long-lasting aftertaste and mouthfeel. So in the competition tea, they're looking for everything, and it doesn't mean that this tea was actually in a competition or that it won any kind of award. So the label competition grade, really what it refers to, unless it has a medal attached to it, which we can also then choose to give credence to or not. But what it really means, when the farmer, the producer, calls it a competition grade tea, it means that it's his highest grade tea. It's the one that he would submit to competition if he did, or in other years maybe he did. It's their idea of perfection. And it's really, really, really lovely. It's not every day that we get to choose a tea like this. It's very important that for the Jinju Mei that you brew cooler water, like 85 to 90 degrees. That will bring out more of the lighter notes, like the sweet caramel, the vanilla notes, the biscuit or oak notes, before the deeper flavors take over. With the dried apricot or dark chocolate, dark caramel notes, malty notes that come out afterwards. We feel that this tea really leaves your mouth coated with flavor. It's fantastic. And I'm talking, I want to drink a little bit of this, the Wudang Hongcha. It's very silky and smooth. Even oily. It goes down so smooth. More like buttery and roasted nuts. Delicious. Yummy. So the two Hongchas are very different from each other. We have a wild one that is big leaf, and then we have the opposite, the tiny buds in the Jinju Mei. So two vastly different Hongcha that I think you're gonna really love. I feel like red tea or Western black tea is probably the least understood or the least appreciated of all tea categories. For some reason, people think they know it already, that it's boring, that they want something they don't know, some vintage tea, some old pu'er, or some fancy oolong, or some even a green tea for the health benefits, or white tea, yellow tea for the curiosity of it. People want everything. But red tea is kind of like, I think people feel like they know it already, and that's partially because of the tea bag culture. The first experience with tea was probably some, black tea that didn't really impress us, and then we discovered tea, right? We discovered some special green tea or some special oolong tea, and from there we took off. I say we, but I feel like this is very common. And then red teas, people don't reach out to them. They don't expect something, and this kind of smoothness, silkiness is really I think it's amazing, and it's very warming. So another thing, being winter, we really want to choose warming teas that you just want to be inside with, and red tea is great for it, as well as the next category. Here we have another big leaf, and this is a vintage Baozong. So it's from the 80s. Baozong, you might know Baozong from Taiwan. It's as a lightly oxidized oolong. Yeah, very green leaves. That's commonly how you'd find it nowadays. Here, as you can see again, it's quite dark. It's quite dark for numerous reasons. Primarily, it's aged. Yeah, it's 35 to 45 years old. But also understand that Baozong wasn't always so green like it is today, where it's the greenest of all oolongs. It's so green that in Pingling in the Tea Museum, they discuss oolong and the range of oolong of lightly oxidized, medium oxidized, higher oxidation, and roasted, and then they have all that as oolong. And then they have over here they have green tea. They talk about green tea. And then in between they have this category called Baozong, as if it's not really an oolong tea. But there is plenty of traditional oxidation Baozong. There was plenty. And in fact, this is a tea that was created by Fujian people who left China during the Cultural Revolution, came with their seeds from Fujian and brought their tea culture with them to Taiwan. Their tea culture in Fujian is, we're talking about oolong, and we're talking about many of them came from Wuyi Mountain, and so the previous tea, the Jinju Mei, is from Wuyi, another UNESCO protected World Heritage Site, from Tongmuguan, which is actually the birthplace of red tea as well, where they say that the first red tea was the Lapsang Souchong. Perhaps it's true. Perhaps there's another one. But it's definitely the birthplace of oolong as well. And how do they make the oolong tea in Wuyishan, otherwise referred to as yancha or cliff tea? Well, it looks like this. Yeah, if you look at a nice Wuyi oolong, it's not bald like other oolongs, like some other oolongs. Yeah, you have oolongs can either be bald or they can be striped and rolled like this. So Baozong is made in the style of the Wuyi cliff teas, oolongs. Now, this particular tea is made from the same farmer, the same producer as the 1971 one that we shared a few clubs seasons prior. Now, that one, the 1971 one, came with a clear vintage. It was marked, the varietal, the year. In this case, it was not. So the age is an estimation based on flavor, based on the farmer's own understanding of what they have where, but there's not a clear age. And the varietal is referred to as Wuyi. Wuyi is not a varietal in itself. Wuyi means that it comes from seeds that were originally brought from Wuyi. Now, why this is important is because tea seeds grow to be trees as individuals. They're not all the same. So a Wuyi doesn't mean a varietal. It means it's a bunch of varietals. It means it's grown from seed, and that's great. Grown from seed is complicated, right? It means that each plant is different. It means that it's more unruly to govern. That's why cultivars and varietals exist. So I hope that that explains that. So here we have the connection with the Hongchas, and then the connection with the Wu Yi teas over here. It's HT is an amazing opportunity to travel back in time to really appreciate this tea that's been waiting for this moment to be steeped. I feel like the leaves certainly aren't dead. They still have water in them, right? They're not dust. They have water. Water's been evolving. The leaves have been changing, evolving. And when we sit down with these teas, or you know, the way maybe a wine lover will enjoy a vintage wine, it's the same thing. Well, it's not the same thing. We drink wine and we kind of lose ourselves, and we drink tea and we find ourselves. So they're very different, but they are similar, and it's the voyage, the travel. We travel inwards here, and being the 80s, I mean, this is great for me. For some of you, it'll be before your time. For me, it's the wonderful growing up years. You know, just playing around, and the 80s were fantastic. So I'm just full of memories, thinking, wow, this tea was being made. You know, and when I was on my bike, wow, Hicksville. Yeah, so there's that. And the next tea. Oh, the other thing I didn't say, you know, so because we spend so much more time indoors in the winter's the season that in the club I like to share HT, because HT is not to be had like, you know, casually. It's and I feel like in the summer, in the spring, it's we're less likely to have those deep sessions that we have like in the fall and the winter. So the winter is also a time of celebration and gifts. So for me, it's like it comes from that place of saying, okay, in the winter we always share an HT, a special HT. This year we are sharing two. There's that one, and there's this one. So this has this kind of tablet indenture. That's it. So you can actually break it in half and use half now and half another day, or you could break it in half and put it all in a teapot and brew it for a longer time. This tea is an experiment, a lovely experiment. It's from the early to mid 2000s. Meaning circa 2005, something like that. It's a show pour from Ailau. Ailau was very, very remote at that time, so the raw material is really fantastic. Ailau is still remote and wonderful, although now there are roads, but before there weren't even roads. It's wonderful. Well, wonderful. Maybe the people there would say it's more wonderful to have the roads now, but with the roads come the tourists, come the people, and to visit, and the popularity, and the economic growth, which is has another side to it. Can't be selfish, and we can be a little bit selfish and wish things were the way they are when things were still remote and unknown and still not expensive and all those things, but that's just not how it is. Anyway, Ailau is wonderful, but what's special about this tea is not just that it's 20 something years old. It's that in its travel, this tea from Ailau, it went to Taiwan, and then in Taiwan it was roasted by one of the best oolong roasters, which is Huang Tuan Feng, and that's incredible, because this is now two traditions, right, and two countries, the shopur and the roasted oolong combined, and it's so warming, it's so cozy, it's you know, it has the coziness, the warmth of a traditionally roasted Taiwanese oolong, like a dongding or roasted tiguanying, something like that, where you get that nice, wonderful roast. But it also has the deep creaminess and earthiness of the shopware, and that combination is something that I never imagined, and it's wonderful because like I'm a purist in some ways, in many ways. I appreciate the I appreciate pureness above all, but experimentation is also very exciting for me and for many of you, but especially when experimentation is done so well. Now, this is fabulous. You got a master roaster to take a fantastic show pour. The fact that the show pour is from Ailau in itself is saying a lot, because Ailau is a remote region with old trees. It wasn't producing lots of like plantation tea in that time. So the raw material is fantastic. It was raw material that probably would have been used for a nice sheng pour, which is more valued in China, and not for a show. So to make a show out of the raw material was already special. But then to roast it gives us this wonderful experience. So I hope you really enjoy that as well. And there's one more tea to talk about. And before I talk about the tea, I want to explain that so the subscription has two plans. There's two plans, two possible plans. A €75 plan. Every 3 months you pay €75 and you get the selection with the season, or you can pick it up at the tea house if you're here in Barcelona. And for €75 you would get those 4 teas, and it's a nice quantity of each, so you have tea for the 3 months. But then there's also the possibility of getting the €150 subscription, where you have more tea. You have more of those teas that were shared, plus a bonus tea that was not included. In this case, it's this. It's a Menku 2023 loose leaf show pour. Now, why is this special? Can you see how big the leaves are? You know, they're big and fat and juicy. Now, loose leaf tea for show pour is often a tiny gongting or a mixed bag, or like nothing special. But in this case, it's fantastic material that's big leaf that's great for bowl tea, and it tastes wonderful. So bowl tea is you just put some leaves in a bowl and add water and drink, and that's a practice that's really great for connecting with tea and connecting with yourself and meditating with tea and discovering how with a few leaves, the flavor changes. It's a wonderful way to drink tea, so that we're not always thinking and geeking out on tea. And it's something we can do with green tea, with white tea, with red tea, with sheng pour, with oolong tea, of course. I love to do it with gaba teas at night. But show pour, it's not so easy to find a nice big leaf show pour that you can do that with. And for me, that's why this tea is so special, and we hope you really, really enjoy it. And with that, we conclude these the selection for this winter. In April, we'll send out the spring selection. So if you're interested, if you like this, what this is about, what we do, you want to join, you can join through our webpage. You'll find Tea Club subscription there. And if not, you can write us or comment here in the video. Yeah. So we hope you found this interesting, and hope to see you soon.